This evening at Unite, I'm very, very excited about what we're going to do next. Several times throughout the year, I like to invite what I call normal people to come and share and speak with you. Us people who are pastors, we're rather odd. And what we try to do is we try to get people who are just normal people in the sense that they're normal in what they do in their life and vocation. They're not pastors, they're not preachers, they're just normal people who are doing extraordinary things. Here's something that if you're not careful, you can miss this, especially in church world. One of the biggest mistakes people make is we elevate callings above other callings. What I mean by that is we say, if you are somebody who is a missionary or a pastor, or you are a connect group leader, it's like accidentally we elevate those to higher prestige and importance. Let me tell you, straight out of the chute, here is the most important, significant calling you'll ever have, and that's obedience. Whatever the Lord calls you to do or be, that is the highest calling. So if you're called to be a doctor, you're called to be a nurse, if you're called to be a pastor, if you're called to be a missionary, if it is God who is calling you, there is not one that is more important or more significant. What is important and what is significant is you saying yes. So whether you're teaching school or you're a stay-at-home mom or a stay-at-home dad or whatever it is that God spoke to you to do, your answer is yes, which then ultimately elevates it in the kingdom of God. And so we like to have people who have done that. Another cool part of our church, something that's maybe a little different from many church cultures, is that our leadership team, Pastor Parker, Pastor Rod, have taught us that leadership is not given, leadership is recognized. So let me explain what that means. You don't get a title or a position that makes you a leader at First Assembly. What you do is you lead, and then we recognize that leadership. So just newsflash, let me step out of this. If you're like, I wish I was a leader, I wish they'd give me a role, here's how you do that. If you begin leading, then that leadership role will be recognized. And so tonight, I'm excited to introduce to you two of my friends who are recognized as leaders, not only in our church, but in our community. Tranett and Derick Brooks have served at First Assembly for multiple years. They are involved in many areas of ministry. They are known for their laugh and their fun. They are also known for their impact in our community. Tranett Brooks and Derick both work in real estate. The list of things that they do is so long that I don't even know what some of them are, but they're spectacular. For example, if you just Google Tranett Brooks, not during the message because that would be weird, but later, you'll find on her website, she's a published author. You'll see news reports over the last several years here in Central Arkansas where she is a top performer in real estate. She won a double diamond award, which I still don't know what that is. I don't exactly know what it means, but I know at the list of all the realtors in Arkansas, there were only like a couple that were listed. At least $14 million in sales and real estate. They're involved in real estate photography, real estate development, management. They are top leaders in their industry. They're going to come share with us a little bit of why church is important to them and how they integrate their faith into their everyday normal lives. Derick, it leads our men's ministry at First Assembly. They're involved in greeting and sanctuary areas. They are super involved, and they epitomize what we just talked about a while ago. They were not made leaders at First Assembly. They are leaders at First Assembly, and so we recognize that. So tonight, would you welcome my good friends, Tranett and Derick Brooks, as they come and join me. Do you actually need the microphone is the question. Because you're not as because we want you to stay in the seat.
We're starting already, y'all.
Turn this on for you.
Check 1, 2. Yeah.
I apologize in advance, y'all.
This is going to be one exciting evening. So tell us, first of all, how did y'all meet? How long you known each other? Like, are you married? That kind of thing. I realized I didn't announce that a while ago.
We are married.
Yes, happily married. Yeah, I am.
How did we meet, babe?
You know, it's a funny thing you asked there, Pastor Randy. We were just talking about our story and how we met. We met at a church. I was currently the youth pastor at that time, and she was the helper. She helped me. She was my helper. And,
Okay, so I went to Bible school. You're not allowed to do that, just so you know that.
well, I mean,
I was a
yeah.
administrator.
She was admin. I had admin.
Yeah.
Yeah. What I did notice is when I was walking around the church, I was noticing her noticing me. Right?
Wrong. But go ahead.
What's wrong with that? Ain't nothing wrong with that. Yeah, so I noticed her noticing me, and we started talking, and working in the youth, she had a ministry with the young ladies called Flowers, and I had a ministry with the young men called Gentlemen. And so we began to hang out, we began to meet and kind of structure the youth department and things that we wanted to see going. And I'll let you take it over from there.
That's totally incorrect. But we did meet at our former church, and Derick and I became really good friends. And I want to, so Pastor Randy, I don't know like when I can make points, and you know, so I just, let me get off script just a minute. I do want to make a point for those of you who may be seeking a mate. This is like my first real talk. Realism, because Pastor Randy said I could keep it real, so that's what I plan to do. Derick and I...
Well, let me just interrupt and say there's a bunch of people seeking a mate in here. You'll see that throughout the night, so use is your crowd.
Okay, so for all you that are seeking a mate, this is very, very key. Derick and I, we were working together in ministry, like he said, in youth ministry, and I was not paying any attention to this man but here's the key, because I was busy doing my work as unto the Lord. So I'm not trying to say that to be holy, but what I'm saying is, if you are seeking a mate, men and women, be serious about your Father's business, and the mate will see you. It's almost similar to what Pastor Randy just said about leadership, then you'll be recognized. So I was busy serving the Lord, and Derick recognized me, which is the natural order that God created, because the man is supposed to find the wife. So when he sees you busy and taking care of your business, doing things that you're supposed to do to better yourself as a woman, then he finds that attractive. Not when you are chasing him down and trying to be wherever he is always. He wants to find you. And Derick found me, but he found me busy working. And vice versa, men, you be busy too. Be busy taking care of business, finishing school and working hard at your job and working hard in ministry. She will notice you. So God allowed me to see Derick, but he didn't allow me to see Derick, if that makes sense. Okay, so that's first point, to keep it real. Second thing.
Hold on.
Wait, this, I gotta get this off because I don't want to forget.
Go ahead.
Second thing, Derick and I did meet at church. However, that was totally God's doing, because I want to also encourage you that your person may not be in Unite. Sometimes when we are in environments where we're always together, then we tend to reach for what's in our immediate environment, and we think that he has to be here or she has to be here. So you start, that's how a lot of ministries like this start dating, and you're running through the church because you are looking, and when I say running through, y'all know what running through means. So you start running through the church, the ministry, because you are convinced that he has to be in Unite or she has to be in Unite. And you're like, oh, Lord, look how they praising God over there. He looks like the one for me, God. And so we start to build those thoughts that he has to be here. And I just want to encourage you that your person may not be in Unite. Now, they may be. Now, I'm not trying to discourage anybody who got a good thing going. However, a good godly thing going. However, Your person may be outside of Unite, and they may even be outside of First Assembly. So don't just feel like you have to date within this ministry. God will show you who that person is, and that person may not be here, and that person may be, but I want you to be open and not try to reach for something just because it's in your everyday, immediate environment.
So, Pastor Randy, I would like to say thank you for inviting us, first of all.
Like, whoa, like right out the gate.
Thank you for having us. This is our first interview together, okay? So this is monumental. She does interviews all the time. No. I'm known in the streets as Tranett's husband, okay? That's how popular she is. And I'm cool with that. But I just want to say, Pastor Randy, thank you. We forgot that. She came out the gates just swinging. So that's how we met.
It's like round one of a Tyson fight. Like 18 seconds and I'm on the floor.
Well, I know this age group is starting to think about marriage because it's just a natural order of life. So I just want you to be encouraged by that because everybody won't get married at 23 and 25 and 27. I was 34, and that's by choice, I think. However, there is no set time. It's God's timing for you. So be patient. Make sure you make the best choice that you can make because your entire life is yoked to this person, and it means a lot. And when you can become best friends with somebody, Derick and I, we became best friends. And so the beauty of being best friends with that person that you do marry is that, okay, so I got to go all the way back. Y'all, listen, now, do y'all know who R. Kelly is? Okay. I know. Hear me out. Okay, so I only referenced him to say, back in the day, when I was like y'all's age, he had a song that was called Homie, Lover, Friend, okay? It was the jam. When you are with somebody, you do want somebody that can be your homie, lover, and friend, and godly, all in that mix, you know, somebody that reflects you. But when you are best friends with somebody, like if I get disappointed in Derick, the husband, I can't stay disappointed with Derick, the husband.
Very rarely.
That's true. That long, because then I need my friend. So he plays multi-roles in my life, and, you know, so when I need my husband, you know, Derick is there. When I need a friend, Derick is there. And then you know what the love part means. So,
Derick is there.
I set myself up for that one. But y'all get what I'm saying.
That's only for the married people in the room. Now, y'all, it shouldn't be that much laughing going on, because y'all shouldn't know nothing about that, right? So.
Okay, Pastor Randy, next question.
All right, let's go to the next question, Pastor Randy. Is there another question? Is there?
It's over? Okay, well, we'll get questions from y'all.
Well, thank y'all for coming.
No, we're not taking questions from them. No, because that's beautiful. So, all that from how'd you meet, and so tell us, I did a terrible job of explaining what you guys do for a living. So, like, tell us what you guys, do you own a company together, you work together? To each one of you, tell us how that works.
All right, she want me to go first because my list is short. Okay, so I started.
It's so busy filling all those roles that you don't got time to work.
Right. So I've done several things. We started out in real estate. So I started out working with a new home builder, and did that for about 8 years. And then I went, and now I currently work at the VA with the veterans. So if we have any veterans in here, thank you. And that's it. See, I showed them.
You do more than that?
Yeah, I do. So I have a real estate photography business, and so I work for Tranett.
Okay, Tranett, tell us what you do for a living.
Yeah.
Other than providing for Derick.
Currently, I'm a real estate agent, and I've been an agent now for 16 years. And if anybody is thinking about that career, even if it's part-time, I'd love to talk to you about it. It's a great career. And I've done that so long that I really don't know what I've done prior to that. But right now, I have a new adventure that's kicking my butt, and that is trying to start and grow a YouTube channel. So if you know about that, send me out the class too, because I need some help. But that's primarily what I do as my vocation, as my employment, my job. I'm a realtor.
So you won this big award this year. What is that award? Because I did a bad job, because it's a significant deal, right?
Yes. Well, I do have to retract the statement. I didn't earn double diamond, but I earned diamond,
But you
which is
won
still,
double diamond.
No, just only diamond.
Okay.
Yeah, only diamond. But diamond is good. Thank you, brother. He said, but still. That's right. Thank you. It's just based on the volume of sales you've had for that calendar year. So I was grateful and blessed to be able to serve 25 families last year, and that earned me double. No, diamond, not double. I'm speaking that into existence. How about double diamond? Okay. So I earned diamond for 2023.
Very cool. Very cool.
Thank you.
So I did remember something I did remember something. So I also served as I was also voted as the Realtor of the Year. Out of 3,200 real estate agents in Central Arkansas, I was voted Realtor of the Year. I also completed the Dale Carnegie class, and I finished top of that class, if anybody. And, thank you for reminding me, I was also the president of the Realtors Association in Little Rock. So, and now I'm here serving in ministry. I'm also a certified life coach. I have a life coaching bit. I got quite a bit of things going, don't I? I do. And that's
You're
That's
my
it.
friends. So, you're also on our board. You're a deacon at First Assembly.
Yes. Second term on the board, which has been wonderful. I'm now the newly appointed men's leader of First and LR. I also lead the connection class, Ironman, on Wednesday nights. I drive the shuttle. We drive the shuttle. We also greet. What else do we do? That's it.
So, you've got all this success and responsibilities in the real world, but you're also super engaged and involved in church. Now, some people would say that that's not realistic. You either got to be all in one place, not all in both places. Why is being so engaged at church in your spiritual life, why is that so important to you guys? Like, what's the deal?
It's super important to me because I recognize that I can't do anything that I do without God. It is He who gives me the ability to even get wealth. It is He who gives you the ability to get wealth. So while we are thankful and grateful for our jobs, and sometimes we have high demands, and a lot of you guys are younger, so you're trying to move up the corporate ladder, and it takes extra hours and extra time to be noticed and to be recognized and to get promoted. So it could be really tough at your age. I've been there. I understand. I've been disappointed a lot, let down a lot, tried really hard in a lot of areas. But one thing that I never put on the back burner was my relationship with God. Now, I'm not saying I've been perfect along the way. I'm not saying that I haven't compromised and made some mistakes. However, it is so important to me to always have God in the center of everything that I do. So as an example, when I first became a realtor, I was working at a nonprofit organization as a youth program director, and I got my real estate license, so I was doing this part-time, but I remember the prayer was, God, make me a sanctified realtor. And what that means, sanctified is not a scary word, it's just a big word, but what it means is just set apart. God made me set apart in this industry. So I started my career being set apart, and I wanted to be different from other realtors in the industry. And I told God that I dedicated this whole career back to him. So that's how you involve God in what you do, because most of us just have carnal jobs. It's nothing spiritual about being an accountant or a doctor or a realtor or whatever you may be, but you can bring God into what you're doing, and your work every single day can be ministry for you. So I remember one time God told me to start praying for my clients when they get ready to close on the house. And I was a little scared to do that because I was like, well, God, I don't want to pray. I mean, we'd have made it this far. I just don't know how my people are going to take that. So I was intimidated by his instruction. And Pastor Randy talks about being obedient. And so I remember the first time he told me to pray with my client, I asked her if it was okay if we could pray. We held hands, and I just said what God put on my heart to say. And when we opened our eyes, I mean, she was just crying. I mean, face full of tears. And the prayer had really touched her. And I said, okay, God, well, that worked out good. And so I thought that was kind of like the end of it. But nope, because that's not how God works. So it was every single time I had a closing with the client. And to this day, I still have to pray with them. And I remember one time, my clients were pastors, pastor and first lady. And I was in one room, and the pastor and his wife was in another room, and God reminded me, Tranett, it's time to pray. And I was like, God, nope, I ain't getting ready to pray. He the pastor. I can't pray for the pastor. I was intimidated, so I told God no. And God would not let me rest. He was like, get in there where they are and be obedient. Like I told you, it doesn't matter who they are. You are instructed to pray for each one of your clients. So I was in there all scared. I was like, hey, is it okay if we have a word of prayer? And the pastor was all big and bold, and he was like, oh, yeah, Tranett, that'd be great. So we held hands, and I had an opportunity to be obedient. So that taught me no matter what, my faith has to always reign, and I have to try my best to be obedient in all situations. So if that means standing up at your job, if that means standing up to a coworker, even if you have to stand up for yourself to your boss, then you have to do what's right and let your light shine. And that's kind of like how I've integrated my faith into what I do every day. Because there's nothing spiritual about being a realtor, but I'm spiritual. And I love God. So as long as I love God, then everybody that I encounter and God blesses me as their client, to be my client, then I bring my love of God and I let my light shine so that God's glory can be glorified.
That's good. Do I got time? Okay. I integrate it by always keeping this in mind. I am the salt. The scripture says we're the salt of the earth, right? And wherever I go, I add flavor. And so I take that as wherever I go, wherever I work, I have to bring God into that. They have to see God through me. Now, I don't go and I don't have oil. I'm not slinging oil and putting oil all on people's desk when I go there in the morning. I'm not walking around with a big Bible and a cross. But what they see through me when it comes to my attitude, when it comes to how I talk to them, when it comes to how I respect them, when it comes to even with the vets that come in on 10, how I deal with them. All of those things are being shown through me from the love of Christ. And then you'll have people want to know more about you because they say something is different about him or her. And so integrating that into my workspace is non-negotiable. I have to take, wherever I go, I'm taking Christ, right? And so you have to remember that as well. If you're going in an interview, you're taking Christ with you. Tell the Holy Spirit to meet you at the interview. Wherever you go, the break room, if you're getting ready to go and you work next to somebody or you have a boss that's real hard on you, you think come down on you a lot and disrespect you, you still have to show that love of Christ. Why? Number one, our church motto, every soul matters. And it would be a sad thing for me to go off on somebody or not bring Christ into where I work and I pick these people up on the shuttle bus. You think they're going to get on? Or they walk in the front door and they see me standing at the door. and they know how I act at work, first thing they're gonna say, oh, wrong church, right? And so you got to keep all those things in mind, because we represent not only Christ, but we represent First Assembly of God. And so with that, that's how I integrate what I do, where I'm at all times.
So tell us a little bit about like what you do for fun. What do you enjoy doing? What's like, besides real estate and work and whatever, like what do y'all do for fun? Who are y'all? What do y'all enjoy?
My favorite thing in the whole wide world, two favorite things. One is minimal, but I love football and I love playing fantasy football. That's my thing. That's my outlet. I love screaming at the, go who? Oh, okay. We could deal with the Bills. I won't hate on the Bills. Go Josh Allen. I love football. Derick, here's another plug, ladies. If the guy you're dating loves a sport,
Write this down. Get your
if
phone
they
out.
love a sport and you just can't get into it, you're willing, but you can't get into it because you don't understand it. If he teaches you, or if you ask him to teach you, he will, and that's another shared experience that you can have together. Now, I tell Derick to get out the way. Because he was patient, he was loving, he was kind, and he explained football to me. Now I got this thing, and I go back and forth with him, and we have a really good time. But it's just a great outlet. He's created a monster with this football and fantasy.
Big monster. Big monster. What else do you love, Tranett?
How often have you beaten him in fantasy football? Just randomly came to my mind all of a sudden.
A couple of times I finished before Derick, and one year, I think my first year or second year of playing, I won the entire thing. So I'm gifted like that. I outsmarted the teacher. But it's a lot of fun. So
This is how you know you're a great teacher, when the people that you teach surpasses you, right?
That's true.
That means you've done a great job.
You're
Now,
just setting him up for success is all you were doing.
that's it. I wanted her to feel what winning feels like,
And,
right? Right?
and guys, if you're dating a girl and you want her to get into sports with you, and a lot of girls are into sports on their own, so I'm not trying to diminish women who already love sports, that you can teach a guy about sports. But if you're dating a girl who doesn't know, then be patient to teach her. If that's part of your world and that's something you enjoy, and when the game come on, you don't want her, well, I gotta watch the game because blah, blah, blah. You know, I'm like telling Derick, the game is on, bro. The game is on. You know, so I'm making the announcements in the house. But
It's bad. I can remember coming home and I hit the corner and I heard, this was the first night of draft night for the fantasy league. And all I heard was, dun, 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 dun. She had every TV on, every surround sound throughout the house was on, and she had stacks of papers where she was getting ready to draft players. And I mean, it's ridiculous. It's, I don't know what I was thinking about, but she won the league. Her name was You Just Lost to a Girl. And then she had T-shirts made, right?
And I'm the only girl in the league, so
the only girl.
imagine how the other fellas felt. Girl power.
Yeah. And then I had to take back the link. I had to come back and win it. And yeah. I bounced back. You know what I'm saying? I just let her do her thing, you know, and then I went and ordered a Lambeau trophy, which she has to look at when she comes in my office to remind her
Very obnoxious.
that she got beat. Okay?
So what do you like to do for fun?
So what do I like to do? I like to hunt, fish, all things outdoors. I like that.
You like to squirrel hunt? Sorry.
I love to squirrel hunt, rabbit hunt. I love music. I love live concerts. I love to sit around the fire pit and do absolutely nothing. And my ultimate dream thing to do is to sit on the beach and watch the sun come up and then watch the sun go down in that same spot. Now, I am a diehard, and some of y'all may know this,
I'm scared for this next section.
Green Bay Packer fan. Huh? Where my Packers at?
Go back,
Yeah.
go.
So here's the thing.
We got somebody
Here's the thing. Here's why there's not many of us in this church, okay? Because we are winners. We study winners. Listen, every year, and we're going to get off of this, Pastor Randy, because we could go all night. Every year, that Super Bowl trophy is held up. Somebody tell me the name of that trophy. Where did Lombardi come from?
Green Bay.
Every year, we are held in the air. If our team is not there, we are there.
Praise God.
I'm done. That's what we like to do.
And we are complete
Does anyone
opposites.
believe he's done? Okay, just keep
Derek
going.
loves outdoors and I love amusement parks. That's my thing. We just don't have one close enough, but I love riding rides.
What's your favorite amusement park? Tell the people.
Universal Studios and Disney, but I love Universal rides.
How many times have you been? Tell the people how many times you've been.
God has been good.
That's good. We'll move on from there. So obviously, you guys have a lot of fun. I don't know if you've picked up on that. As you guys have lived your life for the Lord, you guys have been married, you're engaged in church. You're also, I know this is going to surprise them, both two strong personalities. Right? Really? And some people would be intimidated by that. I mean, now we've had a lot of fun, and we're really good friends. And so you're incredibly successful in business, and you're incredibly successful in life and ministry. There's some families, there's some couples that would create major problems. So how have you managed? I mean, we've had fun, so let's come at it from a little bit of a positive here. How have you supported your husband in his business endeavors and not been living in competitively? And have you supported your wife in those? Like, how does that work? Because we all know people who that wouldn't work at all. They'd be intimidated by their spouse or jealous or competitive. How have you guys made that work?
All right. So one of the things that you have to understand is they are a human being, and they have their own set of goals. They have their own purpose in life, and they have their own mission. And so we're big on personal development, and we're big on winning. We love to win. And we understand, because I understand that she is a person, and she has her own goals, it's my job to support that. I want to see my wife win. I want to see my wife happy. And so how do I do that? So I get around other men who are married, who have a strong, successful marriage, and I'm a student of learning. I love personal development, everything. I only have a high school degree and diploma. Thank you. This is a college grad right here. No, it's okay. It's all right. Help me. That's what it's called. And so understanding that here's what you have to understand, fellas. If you're married and you don't allow her to flourish and you don't support her in her own goals, then that's going to become or create a barrier in the home. Yeah. That's going to create conflict, because now she feels like you just want me to support you, and what you have to do is only important, and what I have to do is not important. I am a human. Yes, we are the providers in the home, but women can also provide, right? So we have to understand that we're in this thing together. She wants to see you happy, and I want to see, and you want to see her happy. So how do you find that balance? Is you have to understand that she has her own goals. She has her own things that she wants to do, things she wants to create, things she wants to go after and strive for. So it's easier for me to do that.
And I'll be brief. I think that's true, and I'll speak from a woman's standpoint. A lot of times, women, I think it's a social stigma maybe, that you're just supposed to prop up and support your man, edify him, build him, and we should, and I do, because it's very important. When Derick is better, Tranett is better. When Tranett is better, Derick is better. When Derick is off, Tranett is off. When Tranett is off, Derick is off. It's no division right there, because when you become married, you really are one. You're two individuals on earth, but in spirit, you are one. So if something is affecting my husband, it's affecting me. If he calls me and tells me something going on at the job, then I'm like, well, what's up, babe? Do I need
She
to
ready
come
to
up
ride
there?
up there. I'm like, babe, they got guard shacks and security.
But for women, I just want to encourage us, don't acquiesce and shrink back from being who you are. When you're dating a man, a lot of times women, we start to acquire and obtain more sometimes than men. So we already have a house, we got the degree, we got the car, we got the job, we got the money. And so you look up and you're right here, and the guy that you may like, he may not be where you are. However, that doesn't mean that you're supposed to stop being who you are and you shrink back because, well, I don't want to intimidate him, or I can't seem to find a guy who can be okay with what I've already achieved. And the same thing with you guys too, but I'm just speaking from a woman's level, and sometimes we stop growing or we step back because we want to get married or we want to share it with somebody and we feel like we can't because of what God has given you to do. You have to keep growing. And I recognize that Derick has to keep growing, I have to keep growing, and we have to grow together. And there is not any competition. Derick's strong thing is people. He loves to talk. I really don't do this, but I'm comfortable with you guys because y'all my people. These are the kind of, this is part of our ministry, but Derick is always out front. He's always a leader, and I'm okay with that. I'm like, go on, babe, go on, talk to him. Go on, babe, tell him what you know what I'm saying? And I support that, and I push that. And then I'm the creative one in the family. So Derick is like, well, Tranett, that's my babe. Be creative. Do your thing. You know what I'm saying? So you just have to see and recognize each other's strengths, and then once you notice that, then you empower that person to be the best that they can be in those areas, and it won't feel like competition because the things that he wants to do, I really don't want to do, but I'm a part of it because we're together, we're one. And the things that I'm into, he may not be into, but that's okay. We still get it done because we're one, even if I'm the only one that's interested in it. But never, ever shrink back the things that you want to do and the things that you feel God leading you to do. It's important that you be who you are called to be at all times. And the person that you get with will respect that.
And I'll add to that, one of the things that I tell guys, because women are told this all the time, when you're looking for a mate, you need to have a checklist. Yeah, it got real quiet. So what I mean by checklist is you got to sit with the father and you got to tell the father the type of woman you want, right? And from that checklist, as you're dating, if they're not checking off the check off your list, you know that's not the one. You know that you don't have to waste a lot of time. Because women get told that a lot. You need a checklist. See, Tranett didn't know I had a checklist until we got married, and I showed it to her. She was like, what? I was like, yeah, I got one. And so it's important because it adds the balance. You get to see what each other is desiring to have. And I'll say this, and I'm done. Learn love language. Married couples, right?
Or even yourself. Know how you like to be loved.
Yes.
You don't have to be married to figure out what your love language is.
Right. You're right. But that cuts down on a lot of the fluff once you know what your mate's love language is. Once you know what your love language is, it cuts down on a lot of the spending extra time with people that's not giving you what you need, okay?
So if you could go back in time and you had your 20-year-old self in front of you, what would you wish that person knew about life and faith, and church spirituality? What lesson would you want to make sure that they had, knowing that that's this group of people right here? What's one or two of the things you wish you had known that would help you in your life?
One thing I feel like I got right when I was you all's age, and that was to lock into ministry early, lock into God early, not necessarily lock into ministry, because you can be into ministry and not be into God. That could be two different things. Just because you're always up here don't mean you got a relationship with God.
That's good. And
you can be busy, and the enemy can make you so busy that you're even too busy for God. So you have to watch the balance and not think that, well, every time they have something, I'm here volunteering, I'm at the church, I'm this, I'm that. That can be a trick too if you really don't have a relationship developed with the Father. So that's one thing I think that I got fairly right at a young age, is that I locked in and got a relationship with God. And God had to move some people out of my life in order for that to grow. And that person was a boyfriend at that time. I had desired to grow, but he was just right there, like all the time. And we were on different levels. So anyway, recognizing that I needed God more than I needed him, that allowed me to really grow more in Christ. Now, the thing that I wish I would have done more is to take risk and to travel. And I just encourage all of y'all to take risk, to be a risk taker, to pray and ask God for the things that you desire, because most times God gives you what to desire anyway when you have a relationship with him, but not to be afraid. If somebody in here right now sitting on the fence about starting something new or traveling or moving out of state or whatever it is you feel the Lord telling you to do, then I just want to encourage you to take risk, because once you get married and you start having children, then you have to take less risk. Not that you still can't make things happen in your life. However, when it's just you're young, you're free, you're healthy, you're vibrant, you're clear thinking, do it. If that's like you want to jump on a plane and go to Dallas just for the weekend and have fun to see something new, jump on the plane and go to Dallas. If there is just something you want to start, if there's a business idea in your heart, you like to bake cakes, you like to do carpentry, whatever it is, take the risk. That's what I would tell myself. Even starting this YouTube channel at my age, in my 40s, I'm like, man, if I just did this when I was in my 20s, if I just did it when I was in my 30s.
You messed it up. They thought we was in our 20s.
If I was just 10 years younger even, I would have more stamina and more tenacity to do it. So I'm just telling you, take risk so that you don't have a lot of regrets, because life starts moving fast. I mean, I assume that everybody here is under 30, and some of you guys may be close to 30 or 30, but once you hit 30, it's like this thing in your body just turns over, and you like real grown.
What is she talking about?
I mean, you real grown. So that's just an awakening to take risk while you can and have no regrets.
Okay. No, I would say embrace uncomfortable.
Yeah.
There's always going to be uncomfortable moments, and they're there just to see how you handle those. That's what I would tell my younger self, to embrace uncomfortable. Embrace it with full force, like Tranett was stating, being fearless, because you never know what happens on the other side if you never embrace uncomfortable. And so life is all about being uncomfortable sometimes. And if you ever find yourself too comfortable, you know you're not uncomfortable. And so that means you're not trying something new. That means you're not facing something new. You're not going after something that's going to challenge you, right? And so that's what I would tell myself if I was at a younger age, like in my teens, because I'm right now, yeah. But to embrace uncomfortable.
Something else, this is just very common. Go to the doctor, even at the age that you are now. Go to the dentist. I am in my 40s with these braces, y'all, and I'm telling you, it ain't nothing cute. I mean, it's just you.
2 times.
I mean, but really, take care of your health while you're young, because one day you won't be as active as you are now. And that's something else that I would tell my younger self. I may have gone to the doctor, every now and then, but, I just had built in my mind that I was afraid to go to the dentist. That hurt. I was afraid to do this exam and that exam. And then sometimes money was an issue, too. So, if I didn't have seasons of being unemployed, no insurance, I've had those, too. It ain't always been diamond level. It's been some unemployment check levels in my life, too. It's been some months where I didn't even get a check, even being diamond level. So there's been seasons where I didn't have a lot of money, and going to the doctor didn't seem like an option. But there's always programs. If you're one of those people, there's always programs. There's always funding. Don't let your health go unchecked just because you're young. That's something that you cannot take for granted.
So what I take away from tonight, a couple things. First, what I appreciate about you guys is you enjoy life. I mean, it's clear, isn't it? Like, you enjoy each other, you enjoy life. And you really you seem to have really grabbed a hold of that word, integrating your faith, your spirituality into who you are and what you do. You're not afraid to laugh at yourselves. You're not afraid to laugh at each other and me and other people, Cowboy fans. You're not afraid to laugh at them at all. And,
Not at all.
Not at all. You take risks, and you're encouraging that. That's one of the things I've taken away from tonight is believing in yourself and believing what the Lord has. At the same time, being intentional with each other, being intentional with your faith and spirituality. And I just want to say thanks. Thanks for being leaders in our church. Thanks for being leaders in my life and in our community. Would you join me in thanking Derick and Tranett for sharing with us tonight?
I will say this, Pastor Randy, that Tranett didn't mention. She has several books that she's written.
No, don't go into that.
Yep. Several books she's written. One is for college grads on how to buy a home. See, she's the creator, so creators normally don't market themselves. So that's why she has me. Because we have to pay for the creative side. And the only way we get our money back is somebody got to say something. So, she has real estate. She has 4 real estate books. She has one for newlyweds. She has one for college grads. And if you're thinking about becoming a real estate agent, she has a book for that too.
TranettBooks.com, is that what it is?
Yes, TranettBooks.com. And you can go on there and just buy away.
And I will say, if anybody in here needs help with buying a home, if that's been on your heart and you've been praying about it, but you're a little bit afraid and intimidated, don't know the steps to take, how to get started, I would love, love, love to help anybody in this room with that endeavor and achieving that goal, whether it be this year or next year, whatever your time frame is. But I love working with first-time home buyers. I believe home ownership is God's will. And so I want to help anybody and be of service if I can, if you have questions about buying a house.
And I think it's a good way of ending this tonight. We're going to do something fun in just a second, but one of the beauties of our church, I know we got guests here, but let's just be up front. One of the beauties of our church is that God has provided amazing people in our church. And I want to strongly encourage you to do what she said earlier, to bust out of this bubble and find people inside of our church to build relationships with. So if you're looking, you've got military in your life. We've got people who are at the highest levels of military in our church. If you want to be a teacher, we've got people from the Department of Education who attend our church and who are principals and school teachers. If you want to be an attorney, we've got people who own their own law firms. If you want to be the most successful stay-at-home parent that has ever existed, we have spectacular stay-at-home parents who would love to go have coffee with you. Like, these people exist in our church, they live to pass on what God has done in their lives. Stop trying to do it on your own. Yes. God's given us the church to help us follow our dreams and follow faith. And so I want you to take advantage of Derick and Tranett and all of those things. And we're glad that you have poured into our lives. And here's what we're going to do next. We've got dessert for you tonight. So out in the lobby, there is a bunch of cake. Some of you get super excited. Calm down, Eden. It's going to be okay. It's cake. It's not still, I'm super excited. It's just cake. So here's what I want you to do. I want you to go out, get your kids, if you got kids down at the nursery, grab yourself a piece of cake, come back in here, make friends, meet Derick, meet Tranett. Thanks for coming. We're so glad you're here. God bless you. Have a great night.
Thank you.